Now we're gonna do coding improv. So like I mentioned, this is how it's gonna work. We're gonna build an app. It's gonna be totally random. Well, not that random. Chief Mustardo, thank you for that 8-month resub. Hey, no worries about the consecutive. So here's the thing about improv. It's not necessarily random. You use your prior experiences to inform it, but it is happening on the spot. So that's what we're going to do here. But you can see how this is going to work. I'm going to enable channel points suggestions. So if you're not familiar with channel points, here on our channel we call them seedlings, and you can basically get these by watching the channel. So you can watch the channel, you can raid with us if you follow the channel, if you cheer, if you're a sub you get a point multiplier, but you can get points for basically hanging out here. And the coding improv suggestion costs 1,337 points. So if you have at least that amount of points, you can redeem an improv suggestion. Now, you can read this here. I'm going to read it to you because a lot of people don't listen to it. But here's what it says. Enter one word to be used as inspiration during coding improv. Do not suggest a specific technology, framework, or idea. So don't say React. Don't say Vue. Don't say Python. Don't say anything like that. I just want a random word. I want a word like banana. I always use that as an example. Symbol. Ironing board. I'm thinking of words that I don't want to say out loud. Light bulb. Anything. Any word, but not a technology. Not a technology. You can technically, you could suggest banana. You could suggest Pokemon. But basically, we're going to get 10 suggestions. So 10 people are going to have the chance to redeem this for 1,337 points. And then we're just going to get to coding. Are you ready, everyone? Because the moment... Actually, get ready. Get ready, because you can see right now it says it's out of stock. The moment I enable this, we're only going to get 10 suggestions. So get your words ready. Here we go. And that's probably all of them. Thank you all. Thank you. That's it. The suggestions are done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is 10. Okay, let's see what we got. Wanma, password, artist, Sean says this. Oh no, Rocket. I was like this minute. No, it was suggested this minute. So we got password, Rocket. DevNode says bonsai, very nice. Lime motes with limes, I like it. Harriet, thank you for the 100 bits. First time giving bits. Enjoy and have an awesome day. Oh, thank you very much for the bits. Congrats on your first time. I appreciate the support. Gerben suggested Apple. Death Charge Rocks suggested my name. How has this not happened before? But it happened. We have CJ. Slushing Jedru with the word 3D printer. Sir Tim with alpaca. And Plankal with the word mouse. These are great suggestions. Great work, everyone. Can we get some claps in the chat? You all did good. Y'all did great, actually. So, in the chat, just type the word clap with a capital C, and we're gonna see a nice little clap like that. Harder to send a word than getting a PS5. No, I haven't been trying to get a PS5, but I know the feel because I've been trying to buy Pokemon cards online, and it's actually very similar. You have to be the first one. If you're not the first one, bots will get it. Yeah, I'm not saying you all are bots. I'm just saying that's what you're competing with. And oh, thank you all for this hype train. That started happening. Wait, Rocket. No, I meant like, yeah, this is okay. So, these are our suggestions. Rocket, it's technically a technology, that's fine, but it's not like a coding technology. So, it's totally fine. All right, here we go. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. And we are going to do our best to figure out what we're going to build with all of this. Dr. Danny with the 100 bits. Thank you very much for the bits. Okay, so we're going to give ourselves roughly 5 minutes to come up with a general idea of what we're going to build using these suggestions. Now, this suggestion is CJ. And I like that because that's me and that's my name. So maybe we could go with that. Something about a password, a rocket. Maybe we do some sort of game involving me and a rocket and a password, and this is the coding garden, so there could be bonsai trees. What if there are limes growing on the bonsai trees? What if Pokemon just run around at random on the screen in this game about rockets and bonsais? What if apples grow on the tree? What if we have a bonsai apple tree and a bonsai lime tree? What are we gonna do with 3D printer? I don't know. There could be also, look at this. Okay, we're gonna kind of group these together because we've got Pokemon, alpaca, and mice. All of these could be like little animals roaming around the screen. We've got a tree with things growing on it. We've got a rocket of some kind. Something's gonna happen with a password. Okay, so I put all of that out there. If you all have ideas, feel free to throw them out too. I will say that all of these are open to my interpretation. It's my stream. I can do what I want, but we'll see. But yeah, Doc says, are the apples on a bonsai tree also bonsai or normal sized? I have no idea, but that's a great question. The Real Pygon. Thank you so much for that resub. The Real Pygon's been here for a very long time, and I appreciate you, The Real Pygon. CJ finds the password and prints a rocket. How am I so productive? I'm not. The stream is an illusion of productivity. CJ has launch rockets at a bonsai tree to knock down the fruit and feed his Pokemon. This is not bad. This is actually really good. I like it. I like it. Can we do it in an hour or so? Maybe. Maybe. What's up, Acid Spark? Okay, this is an interesting idea. We need to figure out, like, how can we launch rockets? Like, I don't necessarily want to use, like, a game framework or anything like that. Rogue Soul, thank you for that 11-month resub. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to use a game framework. We could use, like, P5.js. I probably could even do it just with regular DOM manipulation. Password generator would be pretty cool. I've had this idea for a while, though, is having some sort of stream overlay where you all can, like, put hats on me. So honestly, I mean, it's not a super original idea, but instead of hats, what if I made it so that you could put, it could be like Mr. Potato Head. You could put hats, you could put mustaches, anything like that. But what if I made a website where you all could put things on the screen in a specific location, and these are all the things that you could put on the screen. Now, it's not necessarily a game. I don't know where password comes into play. What if you have to guess the password to be able to unlock it, to be able to do it? How much time are we looking at? We've got a minute and a half before we should start coding. Yeah, so Yuanma says, what if we have to figure out a password to unlock overlay decoration stuff? Yeah, but we have to figure out, how do we generate those passwords? Yeah. You have to farm to collect limes and apples and earn points to change hats. Yeah, okay, interesting idea. So what if all of these things are potentially, like, somehow rolling around at the bottom of the screen, and then somehow with the chat command you can collect them, and if you've collected them, you can put them anywhere on the screen? I don't know. Guess a password from a clue. Is there any sort of API that might have something like that? Like maybe a riddle with answers? Find a password with a Hangman-like game. Root Cause, thank you very much for that sub. I appreciate you. Thanks for the support. Put a password mechanism on a 3D printer. Collect stuff with passwords. Yeah, I think a channel point redemption could be cool. I think this makes it simple enough. So basically, we could call like a dictionary API to get back a word, and then we scramble up the letters, and you have to guess that word. And then once you've guessed that word, you get assigned a random thing that you can place on the screen. That's what we're gonna do. Is it useful? Does it make sense? Probably not, but that's fine. It's gonna be fun to code. It's gonna be fun to code. So here's the general idea. Guess the password in the Twitch chat If you guess the password, did I say, oh, unscrabble the password. I'm gonna leave it. I think unscrabble is spelled wrong too. If you guess the password, you get to place an item on the screen for a limited amount of time. Yeah, this is it. This is what we're gonna build. Is everyone excited for this? Yeah, in Dutch, der means the. Isn't it the in German as well? Or no, in Spanish? I don't know. Okay, yeah. Okay, type 1 in the chat if you're excited about this, and we'll start coding. And I have a few redemptions that I need to do. Du hast. De hast? Oh no, der die das. Look at all the people. Thank you all for supporting me. In your confirmation of that this is okay to build, because sometimes people are like, no, I don't want to see that. What are you doing? It's fun that we're just gonna start coding. Doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. So we've got some hydrates and some other things we need to do. Squeedos, thank you for that hydrate 9 minutes ago. Appreciate you. We got all those improv suggestions. Thank you all for that improv suggestion. We do this stream about once a month, so if you want to contribute a suggestions, be sure to tune in next month sometime. Salamini, thank you for the 9-month resub. Very awesome. Amr with the hydrate. Let's take another sip. Koozie with that focus mode. We'll use that right now. We'll use that to get the project set up. And Vicus with the hydrate. Thank you very much. Yeah, the thing, I understand the frustration, Mission, but there are a lot of people here, and because we have chat commands and stuff like that, if the slow mode is any slower, it gets a little bit hard for me to read the chat, and I like to read the chat, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down to 10 seconds? No, we're going to go down to 20 seconds. We'll see how that is. 20-second slow mode. Don't abuse your privileges, chat. Don't abuse your privileges. The reason the slow mode is long is because whatever you say in the chat, you should put some thought into. It should be the thing that you want to say. Can we get an espresso shot? What? What are you talking about? Okay. I was going to let you vote on what we build this with, but I think I'm just going to use vanilla JavaScript. Yeah, you can drop more often. This is true. But don't tell the chat, because they didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, we could use Vue. But I don't want to get bogged down in any technologies. We're just going to use what's supported by the web browser. That's the plan. That's the plan. I'm sticking to it. All right. Let's make a directory. Let's call this... let's call it password. It's literally called password. Okay. What's the big difference between Zish and Bash? They are both types of terminal emulators. What's better? Neither. It's all up to preference. Bash has been around for a very, very long time. It's the born-again shell. And that's why I use it, because if I ever SSH into a server, it's very likely that that server has Bash set as the default. Now, I know I could install Zish, I could set that as my default, all that, but I prefer Bash because it's standard. A lot of people use it. Zish is very similar. It has some extra things, but that's why I prefer Bash. Okay, here's how we're going to start. And actually, we're going to do that focus mode. That was redeemed by Koozie. Thank you very much, Koozie. And so for the next 8 minutes or so, we're gonna code. I'm gonna try not to be distracted by chat. All right. Actually, I think I just opened up code in the wrong directory. Let's do this. Make it 16 minutes? I mean, if somebody else redeems one. Okay, here we go. We're gonna create a file, index.html. This is, so here's what we're gonna build a web page where this stuff happens. And what I'll do is I'm actually gonna load that web page after we build it. I'm gonna load it as a browser overlay over there on my streaming computer, so that way it'll appear full screen and on top of the screen. But for now, we're just gonna treat it like a Lego web page. So basic HTML document. We'll call this password. And Julian with that resub. Thank you very much, Julian, for the resub. Here's why I don't see resubs in my events over here. It's okay though, Julian. I appreciate you. You've been here a long time, and I thank you very much. Cool. And then we need some JavaScripts. So I'm just gonna add a script tag. The source is app.js, and this is where our code is gonna go. And then we're gonna kind of plan it out as to what we need to do. So. We'll also just console log. Hi. All right. Step 1. Julian, thank you for the bits, Julian. Very much appreciated. Step 1. Get a random word from a dictionary API. Step 2. Scramble that word. Step 3. Send a message in the Twitch chat with the scrambled word. Step 4, chat can attempt to guess the word with something like guess and then the unscrambled word. So that's how it's going to work. You're going to see a message in the chat that comes from a bot that says the password is nabana, and then you have to guess what the password is, and then the first person to guess has redeemed a chance to put something on the screen. I'm not worried about a min or max length. No. Nabana. So the correct guesser can do place in the chat with one of these words. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we could get a random GIF that uses this as a search term. It's not as fun though. I feel like we could do that as MVP, minimum viable product, right? We can just put a GIF on the screen, and then it's GIF with a soft G. Type !GIF. It'll tell you how to pronounce GIF. And then after we get that working, we could kind of like build up a library of different things that you can put on the screen. Actually, I mean, I really just want you to be able to put hats on my head. So, but this has nothing to do with hats. Okay, GIF. So you could do like something like place, bonsai, and then like an XY coordinate maybe, or maybe we have quadrants. So like we have maybe 6 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 quadrants, and you can put a thing in that quadrant. So like if you say bonsai 6, that's gonna put a bonsai tree right here. Right here. How does this sound? Is this what we're building? CJ is a programmer. Kappa. A programmer? What? Hextran? Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. It's hextrans. It would not be a quadrant. I think this is fine. We gotta let's start the coding here, and by the time we get here, maybe we'll have changed our minds. All right, get a random word from a dictionary API. Let's do it. So first off, let's search for a dictionary API. Yeah, right now the positions are fixed. So we can figure out what is the quadrant that will put a hat right on top of my head, and that will, well, what is the hextrant, the octagant? Dictionary API.dev. Is there like a random word API? Yeah, here we go. I mean, technically we don't need an API if we just like have a list of words, but here's the thing. I don't want it to be that guessable, right? And if you know what the API is, you technically could, or if you have the list of words, you could cheat. You could cheat. Where are they getting their words from? Post.find. What is post? Oh, They are scraping the web. They are literally scraping randomword.com for this API. That's funny. Let's see what we got though. Yeah, I don't want... Actually, yeah, I'm actually totally fine with this because randomword.com probably has a lot of random words. I'm so curious why they like, I mean, actually, here's the thing. You see how we're clicking and then... Oh no, it's totally refreshing the page. So, yeah, so this is potentially server-side rendered. I mean, it could be fun to just scrape this ourselves. Oh, we're not going to see the word Viperine because every time it loads... Yeah, so I know this is not an API, but this that was shared in the chat is an API, which is basically a wrapper around randomwords.com. No one would ever guess these words. That's good. We don't want it to be too easy. Whoa. Idolatry? The worship of fish? Interesting. Oh no, the pronunciation. Ixthalter. Is this English? Kith. Knowledge. One's native land or one's friend. Tulwell. Pale yellowish green. Ichthialtry. Wither. To what place? These are really weird words, and I like it. And I like it because these are going to be hard to guess. So I like it. It is impossible, but that makes it that makes it harder. No, because I don't want, we don't want just anybody to win. It needs to be a special thing. Okay, here we go. So we've got this API that gives us back random words. Let's write a function that calls that API. So we'll say get a random word. We'll make this an async function. We can use fetch. It's built into the web browser. This is how you make a request to get some data using JavaScript. You throw in the URL. That gives us back the response. Big words, por favor. This word does not exist. Is this a real thing, Andrew? Screedy. Super machinery. Dodge bus. Piano bendel. This is actually hilarious because it makes it even harder because they're not real words. Babe juice. Lilia. Mammarian's block. We can mix both APIs? This is fantastic. It's using GPT-2. Yeah, you're right. It is questionable stream safety. We could get some really weird words. We're going to stick to this. Okay. I saw a question in the chat. Why am I using a function here? Because I feel like it. So you absolutely could use an arrow function. You could say get random word equals, like, you could do this, and then our code would go inside of there. Now, this is technically an anonymous function. There are some implications of not being able to call that function before this variable is defined. So when I'm defining functions at the top level, I prefer the function keyword. For this particular instance, it doesn't matter. They're both going to do the same thing. And so that's why I prefer to do it this way. Okay, we get back the response. Then we need to parse it. That gives us some JSON data, and then we're going to log it out. When the page spins up, we're going to say get random word. And then we're going to do something with that. And actually, we'll just return this. This literally just gets the random. Well, actually, no. Yeah, we'll do that. For now, we'll just do that to see what we get. And then we'll work with it. Let's see if it works. So I am going to use a thing called light server, which basically is a static file server that just serves up this page in my web browser. This isn't a backend. I mean, technically a backend server, but it serves up the static files. There's no code. The code that I'm writing is not running on a server. It's literally running in the web browser. And so here we go. We get back an array of length 1. This is poor API design. We're getting back a single random word. We shouldn't get back an array, though they probably have like query parameters where you can pass in multiple. Let's look at the code. I'm curious now. Word. So we get a random word. We push it into an array. I know I can destructure it. I am very capable. I am very capable of destructuring it. I'm just saying this is poor API design because it's a single element response, so it should be it shouldn't be an array, but that's fine. We can get it back. So we know that it's an array, so we can destructure it to grab out the word. And then if we look inside that word, this is fine. This is fine. Inside that word, it has a property called word. And so, I mean, we can do multiple levels of destructuring here. So word is technically an object, and we want to grab the word out of it. Is this not the weirdest syntax? But that's how we do it. That's how we extract out that little word property, and then we can use it. Word. So now we should be able to log the word right here. So get the random word, log the word. So now instead of seeing an array logged, we should just see a single word. Urceolate, Coffret, Adiaphoron, Unifarius, Zemira, Frontal, Philonwist. You keep waiting for me to go Super Saiyan? You know what? A part of what we build today is we need to get like a Super Saiyan wig that you can put on my head. These words really aren't that great. It's fine. It's fine. We already decided that it's fine. It's like math. That's actually a really interesting comment. It's like math. The brackets cancel out on both sides. Yeah. So I mean, that's a way to think about this. So let's a quick learning moment for those of you that have no idea what you're looking at right here. So basically, all this is doing is this is extracting out a property from an object that's inside of an array. So in the olden times, if we wanted to do this same thing, we would say word equals JSON at 0. .word. And so JSON is an array. We're going to access the 0th one, and then we're going to get the property word. We're going to take that and store it in a variable called word. This line does exactly the same thing. Now, I will admit, I think it's kind of cool, but at the same time, it can be confusing if you're not familiar with it. All right, so we got the random word. Then we need to scramble the word, right? So step 1, get the random word. Step 2, scramble the word. Oh, we have some more focus modes? There's 3 of them. All right, we'll do 1 right now. We'll do 1 focus mode to scramble the word. Yeah, it has to be the same key, exactly. So if I wanted this to be a different variable name, I could do this, which allows me to rename. So this says extract out the word property and put it in a variable called the word. If you want JSON at 2 instead, you could put a comma right there. So that says skip the first one, grab the second one. But if you wanted to, if there were 2 things in the array, you could say something like this. Word is the first word, and then comma, and then word is the second word. And so this would, if the array was length 2, I now have 2 variables called first word and second word. This is JavaScript. JavaScript running in the web browser. Okay, now we need a function to scramble the word. Let's do a focus mode for that. Here we go. Function. Scramble word. We get the word. I actually have no idea how I might do this. Excuse me. I think we get. I could look. Yeah, I could look up a shuffle algorithm. So Fisher-Yates shuffle. That could be interesting. Let's look up the algorithm, because if it's not horrible, we'll implement it. Fisher-Yates shuffle. Oh, we could sort with math.random. That's actually even easier, isn't it? Isn't it? But let's look at the Fisher-Yates shuffle. It's an algorithm for generating a random permutation of a finite sequence. In plain terms, the algorithm shuffles the sequence. The algorithm effectively puts all the elements into a hat. It continually determines the next element by randomly drawing an element from that hat until no elements remain. That conceptually is very simple. Actually, I mean, I think I could implement it using this one sentence right here, but let's see if there's an algorithm for it. Yeah, that's all we need. All right, this is our algorithm. Let's implement it. Oh, there's hat. Wait, was hat even suggested? I don't think hat was suggested. Put it into a hat. And happy Friday to you, Electrothermal. Thanks for being here. Okay. This is our algorithm. Put all of the elements into a hat and then pull out of that hat. So we're going to have the hat, and we're just going to do a word. We're going to turn this array of characters into an array. So that's how we do that. We're busting out all the JavaScript today. We've got destructuring, we've got spreading, but basically what this will do is this will take every letter in the word and put it as a single character in an array. So we have our hat full of letters. And I think we'll make it a let variable, because we're going to be pulling letters out of the hat and then removing them from the hat. So I'll just say while hat.length is a thing. Then we're going to have our shuffled word, or our scrambled word. This is also a let variable. So scrambled word starts off as an empty string. We grab a random letter out of the hat. So we'll say random letter. Actually, we'll grab a random index. And that's going to be... so... I don't have this memorized. Let's explain. We're learning today, everybody. We're going to explain how do you get a random index from a given range. So we need a random value from 0 to the length of the word. Yeah. So we have it right there, but let's explain what's happening there. So math.random is built into JavaScript. This gives you a random value between 0 and 1, not including 1. So the maximum possible random value you'll get from this is 0.999999999999999999999, and the smallest possible value you'll get from this is 0. Okay, so this will give us a pseudo random number. Now, if we multiply that times the length of the hat, so the basically multiply it times the number of characters, we're basically scaling that value up to the maximum possible value, not including the length, right? So if there are 5 characters in the word, and we want the last in the random value was 0.999999, if we multiply 0.99999 times 5, we're gonna get 4 point something. So 0.9999999 times 5 is gonna give us 4.9999999. Right now, we all know that in most programming languages, the arrays are 0-based index. So if we want the last value, we actually just want the 4th indice, right? So if we math.floor it, that's going to drop the decimal, and that's going to give us the value 4, which would give us the last value in the array. Okay, so that's why we take this whole thing and we pass it into math.floor. And so this will give us a random index from 0 up to the length of the array. Yeah. And so now we can use that random index to grab a random letter. So we say a random letter is just going to be the hat at that random index. And then we take this letter and append it to the scrambled word. So we'll say scrambled word plus equals this random letter. Now, we want to remove that index from the hat, right? So if we look at our algorithm, put all the elements into a hat, determine the next element by randomly drawing an element from that hat until no elements remain. So we now actually need to remove it from the hat. So we can say hat.splice. We want to remove the random index. We want to, at the random index, remove 1 element. So that's what that will do. And so this will just run until there's nothing left in the hat. And then we should be left with a scrambled word. Why is this complaining? Scrambled word is a oh. Yes, that's a good error to have. Scrambled word is the variable. Scrambled word is the function. And then why is this complaining? Yeah, again. So my linter is really helping me out. I'm calling the function scrambled word, but the variable is called scrambled word. That's really what we want there. There is definitely background noise. Yeah, and so splice modifies the array. So we actually don't need this to be a let variable. Yeah, you can pop from an array. So pop will remove the last element in the array. Shift will remove the first element in the array. I believe that this modifies the array. It's an in-place splice. Yeah, I'll point you to the definition of array splice really quick. Here it is. Splice method changes the contents of an array by removing or replacing existing elements. So oh, you're right. Unshift removes the first. Yes, shift puts something at the beginning. Right? No. 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 Was I wrong? I feel like I always get the two confused. No, it's the other. Yeah, I had it right. Array.prototype.shift. Shift method removes the first element from the array. Yes, so unshift puts something in it. I was right. Okay. This should work. First try to scramble the word. So let's use it. So we get back the word, we're gonna log the word, and then we're gonna log the scrambled word. No worries, Squeedos. You had me questioning it because I always get the two confused. Yeah. Edge case for short words. The scrambled word is the random word. I think that's fine. That's one of the gotchas of this game, is that the scrambled word could technically be already unscrambled, and you just have to guess the unscrambled word. Yeah, for those of you that are just joining us, we're doing coding improv. And so at the beginning of the stream, we got a bunch of suggestions for what things will influence the app. These are the words we got. CJ, which is me, that's my name. Password, rocket, 3D printer, bonsai, limes, apple, Pokemon, alpaca, and mouse. And basically what we're going to do is we're building is a password guessing game where Twitch chat, if you guess the password, you can put one of these things on my screen. That's what we're doing. Okay. Let's see if it works. First try. Get your first try emotes ready. Look at that. And I like the fact that it keeps the capital letter. That's a hint. That's a hint that the first letter of the word is the capital letter that shows up. First try. Very good. It's possible we could get the word A. But like was mentioned, if you get a word that is already unscrambled, you just have to say the unscrambled word. I don't think the API accepts a minimum number of characters. There's literally no documentation. It's just random word. Get the shift out of here. I like that. That's how you remember it. Shift removes the first one. Cool. Obombulate? Is this really a word? Is this really a word? To walk around. Okay. I'm not gonna lowercase. Oh look, we got one where it unscrambled it in the exact same order. How lucky is that? Okay, it's fine. Won't we get the same letter more than once? I don't know. All right, where are we at here? So we got the random word. We can scramble the word. Now, we need to send a message in the Twitch chat with the scrambled word. So here's how we're going to do it. We need to connect to Twitch chat. And for that, I'm going to use TMI.js. I should send the definition. Here's the thing. Sometimes the definition includes the word itself. Quittance. Release from a debt or obligation. A document expressing such a release. What if I showed the scrambled word on the overlay? Then you don't need to mess. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah. But I still will need to listen to Twitch chat to see who has guessed the scrambled word. You have a great point. All right, we'll send the definition too. Yeah, because we can actually just remove the word. Okay. So now we're gonna get back the random word and the definition. We can destructure this here. We can scramble the word, and then we need well, first, let's just show it on the overlay. So I'll give myself a little div, give it an ID of random word, and then we're gonna put the word on that. So we need a variable to store it in. The random word element. We'll do document.querySelector. We want the element with the ID random word. That basically gives away the password. Yeah, scramble the definition. Well, we'll see. Okay, so first we'll do it without the definition. We'll do it without the definition. If it's too hard, then we'll put it on the screen too. What is my hair? Dead skin cells that are protruding from my skull. Yeah, that is my hair. Julian redeemed focus mode, so we'll do that now and implement this, get the word on the screen. Oxnox with the posture check. Thank you very much. Extreme Technicer with the hydrate. Cheers, thank you for that. I am Costner with the stretch. All right, we're gonna do 8 minutes of focus to get the word on the screen. All right, reveal one letter of the definition every 10 seconds. Oh, beautiful, Doc. Full of ideas, you're full of ideas. Okay, we'll do this later, but for now, we're just gonna get the word on the screen. Okay, yeah, and I think that's another thing. If someone hasn't guessed the password for 10 seconds or something like that, we'll show the definition. Okay, we have the random word. We want to put it on the screen. So I have this element selected, the random word element. So that's going to select this specific div right here, and we're going to put the word inside of it. So right here, I'm going to say a random word element dot text content equals this scrambled word, like that. And it should show up on the page. There it is. Itoi Mugnoi. Time no guy. That's not a word. Time no guy? A taut rope on a ship used to prevent the tangling of lines and riggings. Blank! Thank you very much for that resub. Oh yeah, I'll update the working on. Because yeah, I need to wait, wasn't I supposed to do focus mode? We'll use focus mode to style the thing. No time guy. Okay. Where are we? We need to go to working on. We need to update this. Can someone do !improv in the chat? Thank you. I guess at this point I'm kind of just stalling. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna be able to build this thing. What we are building. Cool. And then these are the suggestions. Hey, what's up, Zyron? You caught me online. Go! Go, go! Alright, so that is now on the interwebs. Now, I'm going to do focus mode, and we're going to style this word. We're going to pick a font. We'll put that word somewhere on the screen, and we'll go from there. So, 8 minutes of focus. I think it was Julian that redeemed that. Yeah. Here we go. Let's check out font pair. They have a, I mean, technically we don't need two fonts, but we could have a body font and a title font. Wait. I mean, actually, I think we do want a serif font. What happened to fontpair.co? They changed their website. It used to just give you a list of font pairings. I guess these are the font pairings now, but they look like blog posts. I hate it. Mike Brito, thank you very much for that Prime sub. I appreciate you. There might be. Let's just search Google Fonts for one of the random words that was suggested. Bonsai. It's a pretty cool font. It is on monotype. You probably have to pay for it. $29. Alpaca? Today's coding improv, rebuilding font pair. Yeah, I mean, the site is probably usable. It's just not what I'm used to every other time I've been here, because usually it's just immediately a bunch of pairings. I guess here they are, but now it shows you an example of them like on a web page, which I guess this is fine. I think I can change is okay. It's okay. I just got to figure it out. But let's choose a probably two serif fonts. We need it to be readable. Serif is very readable. We'll use Baskerville. Why the heck not? I don't want to download them. View pairing? Just take me to... This site is borked, but Baskerville. Let's just look up that font. Here we go. Libre Baskerville. And we want regular. Fontpair.co/fonts. I mean, even this isn't exactly what I'm used to. Oh, well. Mr. Shafayette, thank you very much for the bits. Kappa. All right. wait, what was the other font we chose? Montserrat. Oh, no, wait, it's not Montes. Yeah, Montserrat. Did I used to say Monster Rat? Montserrat. So we're gonna grab Baskerville and Monster Rat. Wait, that's a sans serif font, isn't it? You know what? We're just gonna go with Baskerville. Baskerville is the font for everything. All right. Monster Rat. Wait, is there a serif version of Monster Rat? We all say Monster Rat. It's fine. Okay, so we've got this font. What are we gonna do with this font? We're gonna put it right here. So this links it, pulls it into the web page so we can use it in our CSS. We're gonna add our own CSS here. Right about here. So frustrated with change. I can relate. Yeah. Well, it's like I was so used to the site working a specific way, and now it doesn't anymore. And I'm a busy guy. I don't get time to figure it out. Cool. And then Google Fonts shows us how we can use this font right here. So I'm just gonna have a body style. Let's do a simple little reset. So everything has no margin, everything has no padding, and everything has box sizing of border box. And then our body will have a font family of Libre Baskerville. And just like that, look at that beautiful font. Let's bump it up. We're gonna select the element that is displaying the random word, and then make it real big. We're gonna use VMen to size this. So that way, as we resize the screen or the overlay, the size of the text will change, like that. Great. whatever you click on gives you Montserrat and Baskerville? Is that really what's happening right now? Because that's hilarious. It's like, you want a font pair? Libreville, Baskerville, and Montserrat. Okay, so if we click on Chivo and Overpass, wait, how do we go to it? Popular Google fonts. View on font pair. Oh no, that one loaded. I don't know. It's fine. Everything's fine. Vmin versus min. So Vmin takes into account the screen size. Rem is relative to the root element, like the font size of the root element. And in this case, I want it to be relative to the screen size because I'm going to be using it as an overlay, and I want it to dynamically expand and contract based on that. Okay. Should we center it on the screen? We'll give it a little bit of margin, like that. This is fine. All right, we need a font color that will work on the screen, and we probably need to add a an outline. Well, I want to keep the first letter capital just to give you all a chance, because can anyone guess what this word is? Falsiform. I'm using a light server to automatically refresh the page. It's not technically hot reloading. It literally just refreshes the entire page when the code changes. All right, I think we'll do white with a black border, black outline. How do you outline text? CSS. Outline text. Is that a real word? I always think it's not. And then it has a very legitimate definition. Falsiform. Curved or sickle-shaped. Falcate. Adding outline to text using CSS. Here we go. Show me how to do it. Oh, there's text stroke. Try it, see if it works. Nice. we need a wow, would you look at that? That's beautiful. How have I never used this before? That's too much. 0.3. Yeah. WebKit only. Yeah. Wow. Okay, let's see what this looks like as an overlay. So I'm just gonna put it in overlay and we'll see. So I guess I need to give it some room. Actually, we could put it like down here, but let's see. Can the inside be transparent? Probably, yeah. You could set the color to transparent, I think. Why is everyone saying Jack? Oh, that one was Jack? Oh, look, it's Jack. That's easy. you guessed it. Good job, everyone. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make this an overlay inside of OBS now. Here we go. Word guessing game. Oh no, this is the password game. And there it is, just like that. We could literally just be it's literally just in the bottom left of the screen. People are gonna come, like, we're gonna have this now on the show, like on the screen, and people are just gonna be wondering, what is, wait. Oh, we put the first letter at the front. How am I gonna know what the actual word is, though? Because it's running in an overlay. I could generate the word on a back end, and that way I have a record of what the actual word is. Because people could be guessing the word forever. Well, all right, let me just refresh that page and then see if we get a new word. Mutsurliag. Tiarikbi. Naguba. Schnuet. So okay, that's great. However, while we're working on it, I'm gonna keep it as a web page. Okay, so now we need to hook it up to Twitch chat. Let's look at my to do. Well, actually, instead of sending it to Twitch chat, we will say display scrambled word. Now, chat can attempt to guess the word with exclamation mark guess and then the unscrambled word. Let's get that working. So for that, we're going to use TMI.js, which is an amazing JavaScript library created by the wonderful Alka. Shout out to Alka, who's probably asleep right now. Well, he didn't create it. He's the maintainer. He is the current core maintainer of TMI.js. Yeah. And he's not actually here. That's just a bot. It's just a bot. If you say Alka in the chat, he'll respond. Usually. Right? Yeah. Why isn't he responding to me? Oh well. But this library is extremely easy to use. You literally bring it in, you connect, you specify which Twitch channel you want to listen for messages, and then you're ready to go. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. So, we will just put that code right here. We're going to be listening in Coding Garden. And then we need to bring in the TMI library so that this code works and makes sense. For that, I'm just going to grab it from GitHub. github.com/tmijs. They have a releases tab where you can just download it. If you can find it on a CDN, that would work too. But this is what I'm going to do. Release version 1.7.3. Grab the minified version. And download it. How to get good at React. Practice. I mean, really, there's a lot of JavaScript in React, so get good at JavaScript, and that will help you with React. There's a lot of functional programming concepts too. Okay, here. Yeah, we'll do that eventually, so other people could potentially use this. All right, so I've downloaded that file. I've also accidentally closed Firefox. Okay, we're back. That TMI.js file is now in this folder. I can link it in my JavaScript just like I linked this JavaScript file. Script. Source. tmi.min.js. Now, this code should make sense. So now we are connecting to the Coding Garden chat, and then when we get a message, we're just going to log it to the console. Let's see what happens. What does serif, sans serif, and monospace mean? So serif is when your font has little nubbins. Oh, TMI is not defined? What? I guess the page didn't refresh. Somebody say something in the chat. Say hi. There we go. It works. Yeah, so now our web page can get Twitch chat. Okay, so to this question, what does serif, sans serif, and monospace mean? So when you see a font where the letters have little nubbies, so you see how this N has these little things coming off here? These are serifs, right? You got lots of serifs, and serif fonts are usually good for reading. It makes it's easier for our eyes to differentiate these letters. And so that's typically why when you look at a book, it's typically printed with a serif font. Sans serif means sans nubbins, no little nubbins on the sans serif fonts. So an example of a sans serif font would be this. You can see that this font doesn't have any little nubbins on the letters. Or this one. Let's see what this font is. Nubbin is a great word, yeah. So... Hello, what's up, Cryptic Dreams? So the font family is set to the system font, actually. But yeah, so like Apple system font or wherever you're running on Windows, I think it's like Arial. But that is an example of a sans serif font because you can see that the letters don't have the nubbins. And then lastly, you asked about monospace. It's actually, you can have a serif monospace font and a sans serif monospace font. Monospace just means that all the letters take up the exact amount of space. Typically, when you're writing code, a monospace font makes sense because you want things to line up. Now, not everyone uses a monospace font in their code editor, but this is an example of a monospace font because every letter, every punctuation, everything takes up the exact amount of space. So, not that. So if I type the word apple, that's a 5-letter word. Give me another 5-letter word. Yeah, sans usually means without. So sans serif is without serifs, without the nubbins. 5-letter word. Lemon. As you can see, both apple and lemon take up the same amount of space. Every single letter takes up the same amount of space. Now, if we were to compare these two in a serif, or sorry, in a non-monospace font, they technically well, that didn't work. Edit as HTML. Here we go. Okay. I mean, I know there's probably a better way to do this, but as you can see, this is not a monospace font because even though these two things both have 5 letters, Apple is technically shorter because these letters take up more space. So that was your daily your daily dose of font info. We've got serif, sans serif, and then monospace, which has absolutely nothing to do with what we're working on right now. Okay, yeah. So, oh yeah, look at that. Electrothermal, never knew that. The more you know. At least someone learned something today. Yeah, and for those of you that were asking earlier, the font that I used is called Anonymous Pro. CJ is smart. No, I have a lot of experiences. I think that's, I mean, technically, I think it takes a lot of experiences to be smart. I don't know. But this is the font that I use, and this is a monospace font. Anonymous Pro. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Dynafarb, thank you for the $10 donation. It says, you're amazing. I've learned so much from you. Many, many thanks and happy Friday. Regards from Switzerland. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate you. Take the compliment. I mean, the reason I say it like that is because so many people get bogged down in the idea of like, oh, I'm not smart. I could never learn this. I just have a lot of experience. It just takes time and experience. Anybody can do it. All right. Someone trying some code injection here. Now, we've pulled in the Twitch chat. What's our next step? Yo, Elon Musk with the 10 bits. How can you filter an input to just a number in Vue.js? Oh, that's actually really easy. And that's more of an HTML thing. So on your input, instead of type equals text, you can say type equals number. And then there's some other like built-in validation. So you can say like min is 0. So you can't have negative numbers. And I think you can do, is it tick or interval? There's a way of saying that it can only go up in increments of, is it increment? I don't know. There's an attribute you can do where it can only go up in increments of 1. And this basically would only allow whole numbers greater than 0. Yeah, but that would do it. Okay. Now, Step. That's the one. I was like, I couldn't think of it. I think it's step. Yeah. Okay. One of those. Yeah. Step. So if you say step 1, actually, I'll show you this on the webpage. Now we get this nice little number input. And if I try to type 0.9, it works, but it's technically invalid. This is crazy. We're getting default error state with like a red box. That's really cool. Please select the valid value. The two nearest valid values are 0 and 1. That's insane. Okay, but if I type 1, then you get these two little buttons that lets you increment by like that. Cool. Hey, Sir Gonzalez. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. All right. Let us write code. So at this point, we're listening for chat. So now you can guess the random word. So I need to listen in here, and then once you've guessed the random word, you are the winner, and you get to put something on the screen. So at this point, I need some sort of like I need some global state here, right? Because we have this function which has to make a request to the API to eventually get the word in the definition, and then we have this which is listening for Twitch chat. So I need a way of setting the random word here and then accessing it here whenever we receive a chat message, so that way I can check. So yeah. I could create a statement. Like, technically, I could just create a variable called current word. And then inside this function, I can set the current word to be the word. That's literally all. It's literally just a global variable now. Oh, thank you, Ed. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could use top level await. I like it being in functions though. I think this is fine. This is fine. So this is going to set the current word, and then now we can listen for people's messages. So I'll say if current word is a thing, then well, if current word is not a thing, early return. So don't do anything. And then we'll say if let's parse the message. So we're gonna get the command and the arguments. So if I say message dot split on a space, it's going to take the user's message, split it up into spaces. We're going to extract out the first word in the message, which is the command. And we'll say if the command is equal to guess, then we will allow them to guess. And then we'll say the guess is the guess like this. So we'll take the rest of the words that were in this array that we created, join them back together, and then we'll say if the guess is equal to the current word, you have won. You are the winner. Winner. We'll just log the person's name. So I think it's tags dot was it display name? Oh yeah, join on spaces. Thank you. We need to do that. Display name. Yeah, so join it back together. If they guessed it, we have the winner. And then I guess once they guess it, we should set the overlay to be the unscrambled word. So here we'll just say random word element dot text content equals the current word. Great. And if it wasn't the right guess, we're gonna log that to the console too. So incorrect guess. And we'll log the guess. Great. We have some basic codes here. So this is listening for Twitch chat messages. When it gets a message, we're going to extract out the command. So if you do ! guess followed by the word banana, guess is going to be banana. If the current word was banana, we're going to show that on the screen, and then we can go from there. Will it work? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. Shaggy guessed banana. That's incorrect. I do technically need to log the current word so I know what it is. Coacervate. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hide the screen. We're going to generate a new random word. Oh, okay. Okay. So now that I know what it is, people can start guessing. Start guessing now. Coacervate is no longer the word. What is coacervate anyways? Oh, you're right. We should lowercase it. It's a good point. Chad guessed Oprah. That looks close. Our guest, Orfanoy? Winner! Bombay's! Great job, Bombay. You can't see it. Let me pull this up a bit. The word was Opharion, guessed by Bombay's. Great work. And let's define this. These words are hard. It's literally it's from randomword.com. I mean it's a password game. It shouldn't be easy to guess. Opharion, a large flute in use during the 16th and 17th centuries. Yeah. To connect to the Twitch chat, we're using TMI.js. It's a library. You can use it on the front end like I'm doing. You could also use it on the back end and build like chatbots and stuff like that. It does sound like a Pokemon. Opharion. Yeah, so I think we'll do that. After it's been guessed, let's display the definition. Definition. And then we'll put it on the page. And so, yeah, after the word has been guessed, we'll set this text content to be the definition. And actually, we didn't do anything with the definition. We're going to put that in a variable called current definition, just like we did with current word. Yeah. Why am I not using like a dev tool like Parcel? I wanted this to be easy, no config, nice and simple. Yeah, and just like this, it's fun using vanilla for quick front-end projects. You don't necessarily need a build tool. Current definition. Cool. If I look at my styles, we need to style the definition as well. Let's make it smaller than the word itself. 8 vmin. Double Dad, thank you very much for the bits. Can you explain ... args? Spread operator still confuses me. Yeah, absolutely. But let's make sure this works. Let's put the definition on the screen to begin with, and we'll do one more round of guessing. A small African antelope. A klipspringer. Yeah, you're right. We should reduce the this as well. Sprightly Renaissance and Baroque dance. Cool. The Shibas. Thank you very much for that 10-month resub. I appreciate the support. Okay. We should bring this down even small. Let's go 6, and this is like 0.05. 0.1. A modern percussion instrument with a rod and a ball. The Shebos with the gift. Thank you very much. Congrats to Frippard. What just about solid text? Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. The only thing is, like, if I have this on my screen, it's just going to be black on black or white. I mean, white on black would work. Vmin is the minimum of the view width and the view height. And the reason I'm doing that is that way the font gets bigger or smaller based on the screen size, and that way, if you're using this as an overlay, you can decide the width and height of things based off of that. Why is this so bad? White with a black text shadow. Do you want to provide a text shadow CSS that I can use? I'm curious why this looks like it has margin. Oh, because we put margin on it. That makes sense. There's the literal margin right there. I think we're gonna put this in a wrapper and put margin on that. So we just take a little divvy, give this a class of wrapper. Yeah, that's better. To become or make cheese like. Can anyone guess this? Anybody? Caseify. That is hilarious. I didn't know it was a word. To catify? To caseify. Let's see what this looks like. Oh! Japanese thonged sandals. I feel like this would just... I think, honestly, Zori, great guess. We should just leave the definition on the screen. We're just going to leave the definition on the screen to make it a little bit easier. I mean, I guess technically you can just search the web, though. No cheating. Don't cheat. We haven't gotten to the bonsai yet. We're almost there. Coding Brian is asking, where did I learn all the key bindings? They're actually just built-in shortcuts. I have a list of them. They're really simple. It's like command left, command right, add shift or alt to that. That's all you need. And it works anywhere. Wait, do we have a command for keyboard shortcuts? Double Dad, you're on my... I'm not going to forget about you. Let me find these keyboard shortcuts really quick, and then we'll explain the spread operator. So the keyboard shortcuts I'm using only work on a Mac, but there are very similar ones that work on Windows too. Here we go. This is it. I could give an entire talk on why you don't need Vim, but if you want it, it's fine. If you want to use Vim, go for it. But these are the keyboard shortcuts that I use. And actually, let's say you're not a programmer, right? Let's say you're just a regular, plain old person that needs to type in a URL, and your cursor is here. Let's say you want to go over this word. On a Mac, if you press Alt and left, you have jumped over a word. If you do it again, you jump. So Alt combined with the arrow keys jumps over words. You combine that with Shift, and you can select a word, like one at a time. And then if you use Command, you can go to the beginning or the end. You combine that with Shift, you can select the whole line or not. That's basically it. That's all the keyboard shortcuts that I use, and they work everywhere, including your URL bar, including your text editor. Even if you're not a programmer, you can use those keyboard shortcuts. Yeah, and so if you're on Windows, you might use Control. For a Mac, it's Alt. Yeah. Okay. I kind of like this text shadow a bit more than this. Whoa. Oh, and then the color is white. Don't press Alt F4. I believe that'll like close the app. Let's see what this looks like in the overlay. Can someone give me a better box shadow? I want a box shadow that has like a little bit more on the tops of the letters. We could do green instead of black. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's use Coding Garden green. Just stop trolling. Control W for a free sub. That will close the window. 002 pixels. I mean, I guess we could go. Is that the width of it? Yeah. Yeah. It's not horrible, and it's very subtle. Okay, last thing I want to do is I want to put all of. I can barely. You'll be able to see it better when it's not on. I mean, is this the blur radius? It is the blur. You can have multiple box shadows with the comma. Nice, I am Pika, who got a job. That's awesome. To use the Java command line tool. Who's trying to use the Java command line tool? Okay. Oh. Wait, what? That didn't work. Invert. Oh, we can do it with text shadow? Why are text shadows so hard? I mean, they're probably not that hard, but I feel like I could never get a decent text shadow suggestion in the chat. It's always like not perfect. Oh well, this is fine. I mean, technically, I mean, here's one thing we could do. Well, first of all, let's give this padding instead of margin, and then just give it a background of RGBA with 0, 0, 0, and 0.2. I've fixed it. I have fixed it. Okay, I want this to be at the bottom of the screen, so that way it's easier to position. So I'm gonna put this whole thing in a flex box. So I'm gonna make the body of flex box, and I'm gonna flex this to flex end. So body, display, flex, height, 100 view height. Flex direction is column, so that way it's up and down, and then justified content, flex, and that should push it to the bottom like that. Beautiful. All right, that's another way to do it. Display grid, place item end. Now, if I re-enable the password game, where is it? Yeah, so this is an OBS overlay. It's nice and resizable, so we can go like that. And then I can be off doing other things. And Julie Strader, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. You have arrived at the Coding Garden. My name is CJ. Today, we are working on a password game. So in the chat, you can type !guess followed by what do you think this scrambled word is? There's the definition. Government by strumpets. And if you guess the right word, it will unscramble it. But today is Coding Improv. The idea for this came from random suggestions that came in earlier. A strumptocracy, a government by strumpets. That's funny. Okay. This is good enough. I feel like I'm wasting so much time today. We need to get moving from here. And one last thing we need to do is if you're the winner, so if you guess the word, you get to place a thing on the screen. Yeah, and check out Julie Strader. Thank you very much for that raid. Welcome, raiders. Yeah, so if you guess the word, you get to do exclamation mark place followed by one of these words, and you get to decide where it goes on the screen. So first of all, let's just find a picture of a bonsai tree. Actually, let's find a picture of a, yeah, we'll find a picture of a bonsai tree. We're gonna go to Google for this because they have a nice tool where you can search by like illustrations. Tools, type, clip art. A line drawing. I like this one. Actually, the other thing I want is I want it to be transparent. So I can say color, transparent. That one's not there anymore. Let's go with the first one. BonsaiDirect.co. I mean, technically, we should probably get it from a site where we can credit where we're getting them from. Let's do that. Yeah. TJ Mister P1. Thank you very much for that 5-month resub. Who says first try? Yeah. Free vector images. Yeah, we got some more code to write. The word will refresh once it's guessed, and then the user can put it somewhere on the screen. Is Pexel a thing? Do they have vector images? Those are stock photos. Bonsai. Cool. Which one? Let's go with this one. Oh no, it has like a background though. It's beautiful. All right. Free download. I'm not a robot. Download. Let's just put it in a folder here called images. We'll call it bonsai.png. Great. And now, we need to separate the screen. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to separate the screen into different sections, and then you can specify which section of the screen that image goes into. I'm not going to use SVG because I don't think these images are going to be too big, but for this is a perfect use case for CSS grid. Prefect. So I am going to create an element called the grid. And then we're going to position it. So I'm going to make body. Actually, I'll just fix position it. So the grid has a position of fixed. Top is 0, left is 0, and the width is 100 view width, and the height is 100 view height. So this grid will take up the entire screen. And then I'm going to say display grid. Grid template columns. How many columns do we want? I guess we want 3. Is this the right order, or is it 1FR3? So 3 columns, 2 rows. Correct. So this should do it. We should now have, 3 columns and 2 rows. And then if we want to put something in a specific cell, we can say And let's just, for now, let's just literally put the bonsai tree in here. So we're going to say div, well, we'll just throw the image in here. And the source is images/bonsai. So by default, we need to style the image. All images have a width of 100%, and the height should be automatic. So, yeah. Shouldn't it be in the first, oh yeah, it is. Oh, it is. Okay. So on this page, you can see that it is in the first cell. And if we put six of them in here, we should see 6 bonsai trees on the screen like that. So each one is in a specific cell. But this is how we're going to do it. So you can choose which cell it goes in. You put the image on there. It'll stay there for a few seconds. Now, for this to work on the screen, I want it to take up the whole screen, like this. Wait, did I do that right? Width 1920, height 1080. That's right. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Yes, this is great. Now, I'm gonna bring down the font size a little bit so that it still works. Do we want the images to be below the text? I think we're gonna remove. And it can be on top of the text. You're right. Okay, so first of all, let's bring this down. Bring this down a bit. Yeah, great. So now the word is a reasonable size. And then the grid images will have a Z index. I realize you can't see the code. I realize you can't. That didn't work. Oh, because it's position fixed. You know what I need to do? I just need to take the wrapper and give it a Z index of 9,000. Yeah, now the text is on top of the images. Great. Great. Now, what I want to do is I want to increase the number of rows and columns. So let's say we actually have 4 rows and 4 columns. More. 5 rows and 5 columns. What if we do 10 by 10? The thing is, I want to give you plenty of options, right? So you could say, 16 by 9? Yeah. But the thing I want is, I realize there's a better way to do this, but I want so that you have very clear options on where the image should go, right? Because if you want to choose the quadrant that's like right above my head, that would be like row 3, column 9, right? And it's reasonably in the right place. So I think this is fine. This is fine. Okay. So, 1920 rows by 10. Oh, you could do the exact pixel. That's right. That's true. We're just gonna do a 10 by 10 grid. I think it's totally fine. Okay. Now, if you were the correct guesser, you get to place something on the screen. So the command is going to be !place bonsai, and then we'll have row and column. So if you do row 3, column 9, that should put the bonsai relatively close to on top of my head. So what we need is a place to store all of the images. And then when you get it right, we need to set who the current winner is. So you guessed it. And then the current winner equals, I think tags.user, username. It's just the display, the Twitch username instead of the display name. I don't know. Hello, Phil the Dev from the UK. Well, thanks for being here. Hey, Scarab, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In JavaScript, we trust. Very good, very good. Yeah, we're writing some JavaScript here on the coding garden. Oh yeah, we'll use their ID. Is ID a property? I need to just log it out. So you've arrived at the coding garden. We're doing some coding improv. And I remembered. Let's explain what's happening in the code right here. So this function runs whenever we receive a message in the chat. What was, I forget, Double Dad asked this question earlier. If you're still watching, I'm sorry it took me this long to get here. 23 minutes ago you asked this question. But this function listens for messages in Twitch chat. And right here, here we go. Right here, we're processing that message. So first of all, on the right-hand side, we say message.split. So that takes whatever message you sent, splits it up into spaces. The left-hand side here is destructuring. So because your message could contain more than one space, you could have more than just two elements in the split message, right? So typically, your message is just going to look like this. So when we split this on a space, the array is only going to be length 2. Fine. But what if some trickster decided to send a message like this? If we split it on spaces, we now actually have 4 items that come after the first. So that's why we're using the spread operator. So this pulls out the first token in their message. So this command is going to be !guess. And then what this says is take everything else, no matter how many there are, and put them into an array called args. And you can call this anything you want. I just called it args because they're basically command arguments. And in this case, banana is the argument to the command guess. But basically all this spread operator does is it takes everything that would be at the end of the array. So in our example up here, it takes banana hex. It takes all of these and it puts them into a single array called args. So that's basically what we're using the spread operator for here. And well, not spread. Sorry, this is rest. This is rest. Rest says take the rest and put them into this variable called args. There is the spread operator that's used typically with objects. You can technically spread an array too. Did we use some spreads anywhere else? But this is the rest operator. Take the rest, put it in this variable, and then we take those, and then because it's a single array, and we join them back together into a single string, which is the actual guess. Cool. Hopefully that helped, Double Dad. Let me know if you need any better explanation. I'm trying to figure out what is the user's ID, because when somebody makes the correct guess, we need to, it is just .id. Great. So whenever someone makes a guess, .id, wait, no, that's badges. Oh, it's user ID. It's user ID. Double Dad, thanks for the bits. That solved 99% of my issues. Great, great. But what about the 1%? But thank you for the bits. Okay. Yeah, so the current winner, so if somebody makes a correct guess, they become the current winner, and then we need to listen for a message from the current winner to place something on the screen. And actually, let's do this. Let's just put some text right on top of it. Call this the guesser. And so when somebody guesses, we'll display their name on the screen. So the guesser element, it's going to be this. And right here we'll say, oh, not that. Wait, did I? Oh, I did the wrong thing. Guesser element. What's up, Dimidoza and Saraduka? Welcome to the show. What did I do down here? User dash ID? Is that not right? Yeah. Okay. Someone is asking why tags bracket user dash ID and not tags dot user ID. So in JavaScript, a dash is not a valid character for a variable name or a property name. So because the property on this object uses invalid characters, we have to use bracket notation to access it. Okay. So guesser element dot text content is the display name. Has guessed that. And then we'll give that the same styles as the definition. Okay. Guess the word. Flourish under one's signature. Let's see who gets it. Frappa. So to guess, you do exclamation mark guess followed by your guess, the word. Oh, JS Kenny has guessed. Paroff. Great work. Awesome. Yeah, and so now it's going to update, but what we need to do now is once someone has guessed, you cannot guess anymore until that person has placed something on the screen. Yeah. So it replaces the last one. So do we set current winner? Yeah, so current winner equals that person, and we're just going to say, like, if there is a current winner, then don't allow guessing. So if the command is guess, and if there is a current winner, don't do anything. So nobody can guess after there's a current winner. And so then we'll just check. So if the command is equal to place and tags at user ID is equal to the current winner, then they get to place something on the screen. And so we have this place to store all of them. I'm calling them images. And we'll say images.push, and we need to push in the image that they want. So it's going to have something like a source. And for now, we're just going to default everything to a bonsai tree. And then it's going to have a row and a column. Yeah, so I mean, we are going to need to parse the rest of their messages. So I could say something like the name, the row, and the column is going to be args. So remember, we took the args and we put them all into a single array. But if the command looks like this, bonsai 39, then we can destructure that to give us the name of the image, the row, and the column. For now, we're just going to default to this, but later on we'll use that, and then people can actually specify things. And then here we'll just say update grid. We'll have a nice little function to update the grid. So basically, we need to place all of the elements in the grid. So I'm going to create a variable that holds on to what the grid is. This stream is fun. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're having some fun. Grab the grid. And then let's clear it out. So let's empty out all of the stuff that was there before. And then we're just going to create an element. document.create element. We're going to create an image. Its source is going to be, and actually, I mean, technically we need to iterate over the images. So we'll say for each image, put it in the grid. I mean, I'm thinking maybe we're only going to have one at a time, but for now, technically we're going to have multiple that will basically like stack. I could create a new image. This is fine. Set the image element to be image.source. And then we need some style. So image element dot style dot grid column equals image dot column, and then we'll do the same thing with grid row. And that's going to be image dot row. Great. What if I just had one image? And I mean, that's what we're going to do right now. Technically, all you can do is set it as a bonsai. And actually, we will use the row and the column that they specify. Like that. You get to put a bonsai on the screen. That's it for now. Yeah, and then it wants... So my linter is complaining because it wants this function to be defined up at the top. Let's put it right here. How many channel points is a git push? We're almost done. We're almost done, so I'll push it soon. So let's review what's going to happen here. If we get a winner, we set the current winner to be their user ID. We display them in the overlay. Then, now that we have a current winner, we're no longer taking any guesses. And that winner has the option to send a command. That places an image in a specific cell on the screen. So right now there's a 10 by 10 grid on the screen. You get to choose the row and the column of where that thing will go. And it's not zero-based index. It is 1 through 10 for both rows and columns. If you don't specify, we'll just put it in the middle. Well, no, the middle would be 3-ish. And 5-ish. So, the command that you'll do, if you win, the command you want to run is !place. Right now, just use the word bonsai and then a row and a column. And the bonsai should appear in that row and column if we did everything right. And, I mean, let's go ahead and just reset everything. So, this function, it basically resets the game. Let's put this into a variable called reset game. So we have a function reset game that does this. And Ryanev, thank you very much for that Prime sub. I appreciate you. Okay, so we're not doing that. We set the current word. We set the current definition. The guesser element gets cleared out. We get a new word, and we get a new definition. So we just need to call that right here. So the person will place a thing on the screen, and then we get a new word that people can guess. All right, I think this is it. Like this, if I've done everything correctly, it should work. So if somebody guesses the word, they then will have the option to place something on the screen. What if the guesser doesn't place an image? Then we're just stuck there, at least for now. So the current word to guess is use of certain sorts of wood in treating disease. And these are your letters. Durandor has guessed xylotherapy. So Durandor, you can do !place, followed by the word bonsai, followed by a row and a column. And if we've done everything right, it'll show up on the screen. And if we've done something wrong, I actually don't know what will happen because I can't see the dev tools. Fantasy Teapot says, your hair, you're peeking. Okay, so they guessed the right thing and the image did not show up on the page. So that is an issue. We need to debug that over here. So first of all, I'm going to stop logging the tags. We don't need that anymore. I'm going to hide the overlay, and then now someone just guessed the word ominism and attempt to place it on the screen. Well, you will always know that. I mean, this is technically safe. We're gonna do a new one. Guess again. Guess again. It wasn't too grotesque or anything. Spontaneously, aimlessly playful. Ludic. So Prasanth has guessed ludic. So Prasanth needs to do exclamation mark place followed by the I know why it's not working. Why didn't you all catch this? I never append the image. So in update grid, we create the image, but we never append it. So I need to do grid element dot append child the image element. That was the issue. That's the problem. All right, it's gonna work the first time for real this time. Okay, so the current thing to guess is refutation sophism. And if you guess it, you get to place an image. Inschlu? People are very busy Googling right now to figure out what the word is. Refutation, sophism. In schedule? In shul. Lunches. There we go. Victor has guessed it. Elunchus. Now, Victor, you can do exclamation mark place followed by the word space bonsai, space a row and a column. And it should appear on the screen. It should. Bonsai 3, 2. Oh, it's there! It worked! It totally worked! There's a bonsai on the screen! Yeah! Whew. We did it! Wait, was that, you did row 3, column 2? Yeah. That seems more like row 2, though, doesn't it? If we're splitting out spaces, why do we need to join? Because it's an array. It's not a string, it's an array, so join turns it into a string. That is... Oh, it's column and then row? How did I do it? I did row, column. So row, column. And then... row, column. I don't know. That is row 2? Is that the message that they sent? Row 2, column 3? But they did row 3, column 2. Oh! Wait. I don't know. What is this program supposed to do? It's a guessing game. It's a password game. It does look like 2, 2. We could... does anyone know an easy way to just show the grid? Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right, Big Boots. Yes, because right now I'm doing 100% width, which means that the height could exceed the cell size. Yes. So let's try this. Well, really all I need is object fit contain, so that way it should appear inside. Does object fit work even though it's not a background image? Okay. This should be better. So the word to guess has the letters A, O, D, O, I, O. So the hint, you'll always know, wait, why can't you see behind my head? But you'll always know that the first letter is O. And the definition is egg-shaped. So, do your best to guess. A dahlia? I forgot to reset the winner. Thank you, Andrew. I think I did, right? So, yeah, well, it's not going to break this time. Whoever guesses this should be okay because the page refreshed. But technically, whenever we reset the game, we need to set the current winner to an empty string. Is no one guessing this? Egg-shaped. Do I need to guess it? I don't know these words either. I'm from the US and I don't know these words. What is another word for egg-shaped? Ovoid? There's no V though. Oval? Oviform? Ovate? Oh! Oidle. Okay, so you won the game. So what you can do is in the chat, you can do !place, followed by the word bonsai, followed by a row and a column. So let's, you put it at 0, 0? Or 1, 1? Yeah, look at that, it worked. So you put the bonsai tree at 1, 1. Great. Unfortunately, I need to reset the game one last time, and then I think I'm gonna call it there. Now, I did not incorporate the rest of these. I need to, but I also need to go to work. So I'm gonna leave. But even though this was a coding improv, I might actually keep this overlay on my screen because it's pretty fun. And eventually we can have other things that you can place anywhere on the screen, right? We are going to reset the current winner here. That should allow that. And we're good to go. All right, I'll let you play the game. I'm gonna set a timer for, let's see how many words you can guess in 5 minutes. And I'll give you the command is place, bonsai, row, column. So this is if you win, this is the command you want to run. And it's a 10 by 10 grid. So Lime Oats has one, Scriptorium, a writing room used by monastic scribes. And there we go. So they've placed it at this specific row and column. Somebody should try to put it on top of my head. If you win and you never place an image, then it's just gonna stay there. We could also add that, like, if you haven't placed an image within like a minute, the game resets anyways. It's beautiful. It's right there. All right, so the next one is this neoclim of like or pertaining to the tibia, the shin bone. 5'8". Doc is guessing that if you do it at 5'8", you will put a bonsai tree on top of my head. Yeah, and so that's the hint, that the capital letter is the first letter, and Yataic has won it with Nemiel. What a word. The guess is 5'8". That's not 5'8", is it? Where did Yataic put it? Oh, he put it at 2 too. Nobody wants to put it on my head, I guess. Also, I need to adjust the background color of the, because if you can't tell, there's like a background color here. How are these people guessing the? Probably by using Google. Victor has won Super Calendar to give a high polish to. These words are ridiculous, but Victor is a pro Googler. Yeah, I mean, unless randomwords.com or randomword.com has a word list. Oh, there we go. That was close. What is this one? What's the row and column here? 6-9? Yeah, you want it maybe one column over. All right, so this a wild Tibetan horse is Kiang. Gerben, got it. So you can attempt. You don't have to put it on my head. You can put the bonsai tree anywhere. Head is 7-9. Oh, here you go. You can find all of the words. If you really want to cheat, you can go here and find the words. So, like, if we want the letter N, and there's R-U-M-T-S-A and I, you could write a script that scrapes this page and then figures out which one it is. Communal duties. Shaggy has guessed it. Naturism. Great work, Shaggy. Is that even on this page? It's not. Okay, never mind. You can't use this. Oh. Somebody put it there. All right, Shaggy, it's up to you. There we go. Shaggy put it there. Wordunscrambler.me. Does this work? Let's see if it works. B-E-S-S-E-E-I-M, capital M. Unscramble. Beseem, to be besuited or unsuitable to. Guess that with a capital B. That's the thing. Right now, we are not. Oh no, capital. Wait, that's wrong. It has to begin with the letter M. To be unsuited or unsuitable to? Is it? Oh no, that's not the word. Wait, 7 letters? They couldn't find the word. This word is not in their dictionary. Hello, Probin. Mime bees. To be unsuited or suitable to. All right, that was 5 minutes. Whoever's the last person to guess needs to put it right here, wherever that is. I don't know what row and column that is. To unsuited or unsuitable to. Miss Basim. I'm gonna guess it. Wait, I didn't copy it. I didn't copy. Okay. TJMR beat me to it. This is gonna be the last placement of the stream. Do we know what row and column this is? $6.10? $6.9? Oh, it's too far down. This is cool. I'm actually excited with what we built today. Mainly because it's a pretty little interesting overlay thing. We could come up. The thing is, we could come up with other games for people to play to be able to win the chance to put things on the screen, and it's going to be more than just bonsai trees. Like eventually, we could add like Mr. Potato Head parts, and you could like put a hat on me or a nose or something like that. Yeah. Cobrita, good job, has won Silvix, a study of trees' life. That was fun. I agree. Oh, I guess there no way to do it. There's this blank spot right here where it's not exactly possible. 8.5. We could do a 20 by 20 grid. Okay. What if someone pushes the tree on the same cell? It'll just draw oh. No, technically, I have no styling of the cell itself. So they'll just appear in the same cell side by side with no space. What I need to do is I need to make it so that, for one, you can't have more than, or if you put it on the same cell, it overwrites the previous one. Groundling, the person of inferior taste, a cometer. Yeah. Oh, nice, J Digital. That's good to hear. Cool. Let's do a quick review of what we built today, and then I'm gonna go. But this has been super fun. There we go. We placed the bonsai tree there. So today we made a thing. It didn't exactly incorporate everything, but it will eventually. Like I said, there's no rules to this coding improv thing, but the idea behind coding improv is at the beginning of the stream, we opened it up to suggestions, and we got these 10 suggestions in the chat. And then we did a little bit of ideating, and we determined that we were going to build a guess the password Twitch chat game. And if you guess the password, you get to place an item on the screen for a limited amount of time. It's not limited, and right now it's only a bonsai tree, but eventually we can change all of that. And this is just a basic web page. So we have a page, we're bringing in some fonts. We have the element that has the person who guessed it, the random word in the definition. So that's what you're seeing down here. So Sequel Gordster just guessed Vita. And then we have the grid, which takes over the entire screen, and it's a 10 by 10 grid. And if we look at the code, basically what we do is we get a random word from a dictionary API. So we just get a totally random word. We then scramble it up, display it on the screen, and then just listen for Twitch chat. And the moment somebody guesses the right unscrambling, they have the option of putting a bonsai tree on the screen. So we have all the elements. Well, this is all of our state, the current word, the current definition, and the current winner. And then a little function that basically updates the grid with the latest placed item. And people are putting more bonsai trees here. This is a nice little a shuffle function we wrote, which was a specific shuffling algorithm. Does anybody remember? I mean, Doc could tell us. Shuffle. Fisher-Yates. The Fisher-Yates shuffling algorithm. Yeah, thank you, Doc. The algorithm effectively puts all the elements into a hat. It continually determines the next element by randomly drawing an element from that hat until no elements remain. So we implemented that algorithm here. So we take the word, we put it into a hat, like each letter into a hat, and then we grab a random letter from the hat, and then we have a scrambled word. So that's great. To get the word, we're calling this random words API. And then when the game resets, we just set the word, set the definition, and clear the winner. 8-9? Wait, this is 8-9? There's no way, right? Oh. Wait, did somebody do 10-10? Yeah, Big Boots did 10-10. There it is. So yeah, and then we're using TMI.js to connect to the Twitch chat. So this overlay is basically just a web page that's listening for the chat. When a message comes in, if there's not a word, that means that we're not ready. But if there is, and someone did the command guess, and there is no current winner, we then check to see if their guess is equal to the current word. And actually, I'm going to do this. Well, no. I don't want to. If I save, it'll refresh the screen. I'll update this so that you can do the lowercase version of the word. So if you guess the right word, we update this to show the right word, like ryometer, instrument for measuring absorbed cosmic radio waves. And then after you've won, you are set as the current winner. And then as the winner, you can run in the chat exclamation mark place the word bonsai and then a row and a column. So we have a 10 by 10 grid. You can specify a row and column in the 10 by 10 grid. If you're the winner and you run that command, we put it in our array of all the images, update the grid, reset the game. Easy. Why did it take us 2.5 hours? I don't know. I wasn't rushed today. I still don't know why guess is an array and not a word before the join. Oh, so yeah, I'll show you that right here. So arg. So we talked about this earlier, like what this spread operator is doing. This is basically, so split. Let me, you know, let's end the stream with a nice interactive example. So, no. Here we go. So, let's say you have a message like exclamation mark guess banana, like this. Okay, so that's a string. If we say message.split on a space, that gives us back an array of length 2 that has both of the items. Now, if I want to destructure the first item, I can do like this. I could say the command is here, and then we'll do that spread thing. The args are here. Now, when you, no, it's not spread. This is rest. So when you get the rest, here, that puts it into an array. So that's the issue here, is this basically becomes an array of length 1 that has banana inside of it. And so if we say this equals message.split, now command is a single string, right? And then args is an array of length 1. So that's why we do the join, is because it's an array of length 1 and we need to join it back together. Now, where this would come into play is if somebody, right now it doesn't make that much sense because the command is just 2 words, right? And technically, instead of doing the spread thing, I could just, well, actually, yeah, instead of doing spread, I could literally just say guess and then just ignore everything else afterwards. But what this allows the person to do is say like banana man, okay. So if they did a command like this, then technically their guess is banana man, okay. And so we join, so this becomes an array of length 3, and then we join that all back together in a single string. Honestly, the easier code would just to be set, just to not use the rest operator and ignore everything after the second word. That would be easier, but that's why we have to use join. All right. This is it. I'm gonna push this code to GitHub. I think I can just go ahead and push it. This is literally a coding garden. Yeah, it all seems good to me. I don't think I have anything secret in the code. That's what's nice about Twitch chat, is you can actually write code that listens to Twitch chat and doesn't require any authentication. So because we're not sending messages in the chat, we don't have any secret tokens in here or anything like that. Yeah, this is fine. It's fine. I'm gonna add everything. And it should be on GitHub. The act of killing. Who's gonna guess that one? All right. We're done. We're gonna do a raid. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me today. This was super fun. The next coding improv will happen probably like a month from now. It's not really scheduled. It just happens when I can't think of anything else to stream. So yeah. But I don't know who we're gonna raid. Whoever we raid, show them lots of love, drop a follow, all that good stuff. If you're a sub, this is your raid message. If you're not a sub, this is your raid message. And yeah, thank you. Like we got over 100 follows today. Thank you all for following. We got a ton of supports, tons of subs and bits and resubs. I really thank you all for the support. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting me. All right. If you threw any support or if you followed, you'll see your name in the credits at the end of the show. So be sure to look out for that. And wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here is this.